Hello, everybody. This is Eddie King Smith the Fourth, and if you've been checking out my videos, I'm teaching you about not to pledge, about law, about social party rank, and for the last 7 years, I've been confirming. I've been confirming a covenant of social party rank by way of my straw man, my capitalized entitlement name as the capitalized king of the United Nations. Okay, so it's all about entitlement. We have two names. Here's what I want to get into today. I left a message previously, and I've been leaving various messages, and you've heard me talk about pledge very often. Just going to go ahead and back out of here and get back to the message, okay? So I'm going to be sharing today with you some wisdom, and if it's wisdom, if you want to make sure it's wisdom, then you know it's wisdom if it comes from the splendor of our Father's majesty. So I'm going to be talking to you about some Bible verses. Now, real quick, wisdom about pledge. Okay, now here's what I'm going to say. Job comprehended it. Ezekiel and I comprehend it. Okay, now wake up, brothers. Yahushua, aka Christ, has, as in past tense, has delivered you. And I'd say capitalize you is what's written there. Back to you, uncapitalized you of your pledge because you shook hands in pledge, which I'll discuss here in a minute. But that's very important. See with unabridged eyes that can see, and with unabridged ears that can hear, as you are going to get the hard awakening if you do not confess to Yahweh. Okay? My question here is, do you prefer to be capitalized bondmen or uncapitalized partners of our trust? And I'm asking if you will listen to reason. Okay? Now, when I speak to you in my uncapitalized name, I'm acting as a steward of my capitalized entitlement. Okay? And real quick before I start, just to explain something. Yahushai, aka Christ, my capitalized entitlement, he's been doing what he was supposed to do. He did everything that he was supposed to do. And then he came across his judges of his administration, and he didn't like what he heard. He didn't like it at all. And quite frankly, you've exhausted his good patience. And in such, he is left on sabbatical. And feel free to go through all these posts. They're very important. He's left message in regards to what his intentions are. And as we all do have these separate names, and these capitalized names and these uncapitalized names, I'm here today in my uncapitalized name to do voluntary duty as my entitlement as a capitalized in my straw man. All of that was done. That was mandatory per the contractual agreement of HR 7260, the Social Security Act, the actual entitlement covenant. So, what I do in my uncapitalized name, this is for my brethren, specifically my brethren of Israel, that I teach you to walk in a righteous path and that I lift you up. So, we're going to be looking at them. I'm not going to go over the titles. I'm just going to get into the actual precept and then we'll talk. And then at the end, we'll just give a brief talk about it. There's a lot to go through, so I'll try and go as quickly as possible without losing the splendor of our Father's majesty in written word. Okay, no man shall take the neither or the upper millstone for a pledge, for he taketh a man's life for a pledge. Okay, but if her father, this is the next one, if her father fears her vow or her pledge that she bound on herself and says nothing to her, then all her vows will stand, and every pledge that she binds on her life will stand. Okay, Solomon. Who is this coming from the wilderness, hasting herself for her beloved? Under the citron tree I have waked thee. There did thy mother pledge thee. There she gave a pledge that bare thee. Okay, Zephaniah. Those who bow in worship on the rooftops to the heavenly host. Those who bow and pledge loyalty to the Lord, but also pledge loyalty to Milcom. Okay. Exodus. If taking in pledge, thou shalt take in pledge the garment of thy friend. At the going down of the sun, thou shalt turn it back to him. Okay. Jeremiah. The man who have violated my covenant, who have not kept the terms of the solemn pledge which they made before me when they split the calf in half, and then afterwards walked between its separated pieces, sealing their pledge to me by placing a curse on themselves. Should they violate the covenant, those men will I make like the calf. Oof. Having condemnation because they rejected their first pledge. Who is a pledge of our inheritance to the redemption of God's own purpose, to the praise of his glory? I'm going to answer that question. Take his garment, pledging a stranger, and bind him by a pledge for a strange woman. Okay. Another Proverbs. A man wanting heart will strike the hand, pledging a pledge before his friend. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. Ezekiel, I love you. And hath not oppressed any, but hath restored to the debtor his pledge, hath spoiled none by violence, hath given his bread to the hungry, and hath covered the naked with a garment. Ezekiel. Hath oppressed the poor and needy, hath spoiled by violence, hath not restored the pledge, hath lifted his eyes to the idols, hath committed abomination. Ezekiel. Neither hath oppressed any, hath withholden the pledge, neither hath spoiled by violence, but hath given his bread to the hungry, and have covered the naked with a garment. So, interesting. Ezekiel. If the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life, without committing inequity, he shall surely live and not die. My plan. Okay. Amos. And they lay themselves down upon clothes laid to pledge by every altar, and they drink the wine of the condemned in the house of their God. That is every single one of you over being people who have walked and are still shaking hands in pledge. And I love you, and I'm going to wake you up. John. Upon saying this, Jesus breathed on the disciples and said to them, "Be willing to receive the Holy Spirit." I'm not going to read the note. Yeah, truly, be willing to receive the Holy Spirit. Genesis. Then he, "I will send thee a kid from the flock," she answered. "Then give me a pledge till thou send it." Genesis. Then he said, "What pledge shall I give thee?" And she said, "Thy signet and necklace and thy staff that is in thy hand." And he gave it to her and lay by her, and she was with child by him. Oh boy. Genesis. And Judah sent the kid by his neighbor of Adullam to fetch out his pledge again from the woman, but he found her not. Peter. This water prefigured immersion, which now also saves you, not by removing dirt from the body, but as an appeal to God for a clear conscience through the raising of Jesus Christ from the dead. There's many types of death. Pledge is civil death. Pledge is civil death. If you agree to it, you think our Father doesn't take that seriously? I'm going to continue. Hebrews. And so, having patiently waited, he realized the promise. I'm not going to read that. No, why not? In the miraculous birth of Isaac as a pledge of what was to come from God. I don't like, if it's not there, I don't like adding it. And if it's in bracketed, you're not supposed to include it. It's not included as part of the paragraph if it's bracketed. Okay. Corinthians. And he has also set his seal upon us and has put his spirit into our hearts as a pledge and foretaste of future blessings. Corinthians. And he who formed us with this very end in view is God, who has given us his spirit as a pledge and foretaste of that bliss. Oh, yes. Corinthians. In the same way, when the meal was over, he also took the cup. This cup, he said, is the new covenant of which my blood is the pledge. Do this every time that you drink it in memory of me. Deuteronomy. When thou dost lend thy neighbor anything, thou shalt not go into his house to take his pledge. Okay. Deuteronomy. Thou shalt stand abroad, and the man to whom thou dost lend shall bring out the pledge abroad to thee. Deuteronomy. And if the man is poor, thou shalt not sleep with his pledge. Deuteronomy. In any case, thou shalt deliver him the pledge again when the sun goeth down, that he may sleep in his own raiment and bless thee. And it shall be righteousness to thee before the Lord. Deuteronomy. Thou shalt not pervert the judgment of the stranger, nor of the fatherless, nor take a widow's raiment for a pledge. Samuel. And carry these 10 cheeses to the captain of their thousands, and see how thy brethren fare, and take their pledge. For Jehovah thy God will bless thee as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend on pledge to many nations, but thou shalt not borrow, and thou shalt rule over many nations, but they shall not rule over thee. I'm going to stop here for a second, real quick. First off, it's it's YHWH, Jehovah. Is that right? Anyway, uh, and next thing is this is why we rule. This is why we rule. Look carefully. Uh, we uh, we we cannot lend to people, uh, and we are the leaders of the nations. So what they do is they rule in chief. Because of ignorance, the scepter of Judah, that's us, um, it shall not leave, as was foretold, until you know who comes. Yahushai, my capitalized entitlement comes, and I smack you some sense into you and wake you up and show you that you have been shaking hands and pledge, and show you how light turns into matter, how our universe works, and do what I've done, which is make a bunch of laws to make things better. But I need the judges, so you're going to get it together. You're going to have to learn actual law. Law, this is our law, but you're going to have to learn all of the twistings that have been laid out by this social party rank of name entitlement in order to comprehend how the new kingdom works and that which your commission of authority is given. If you can't figure that out, then we're going to have a problem. Another problem is there will be a confession. You will confess, as I have myself, to shaking hands and pledge. We're going to get that out of the way, or you will not be in my administration, nor will your children, because I'm verily judging the fruit by the shoot of the shoot, which is you. So if you're going to be honest, if you're going to be a man of honor, then you're going to admit it. But to continue, Deuteronomy, but thou shalt open thy hand bountifully unto him, and shalt certainly lend him on pledge what is sufficient for his needs. We are the lenders. We are the lenders. That's why we lend. But we are not supposed to be giving out. Or how do I put this? We're not supposed to be pledging ourselves. But you went and did that. And so when that happens and the world becomes the way it does, a Christ must be anointed in order to redeem, to deliver, and then to establish justice and judgment in a fair way and manner. And that's what's happened. In your case, everything is already known. You are a non-bond equity bearing contracting party now. And for that reason, I, as a steward, must teach you to comprehend your grace, your proper dignity, and to comprehend these words that I speak. I will open your eyes and I will help you see. And together, my straw man, he who has decided he's heard enough of confession out of your mouth that he's decided to cut himself off and go on sabbatical for a while. So this is what you get: is you get me, you get the steward who's here to help you out. Just uncapitalized me, Eddie King Smith IV. So that's what's going on. So I'm gonna run through these. I'm not gonna spend it. See, it's 19 minutes. I know your attention span is short. I want you to read these. I want you to look at these. I'm gonna go slowly. I love you. You have to comprehend these things. You have walked in pledge. What I want you to comprehend is this. You look out and you see unrighteousness and you see chaos and you think it's chaos. But it's not. It's the law is what you were seeing. You were seeing violation of the law. upon us for our actions, and yet we wish to blame everyone else. We wish to blame everyone else. And it's time for us to comprehend what we have done so that we can raise ourselves up from civil death. Um, I as the Sestuike Trust in my anointed title and my capitalized name in the first rise of civil death. It truly was not on me, upon me, for in suzerain status do I live, in my inheritance does it allow me to raise you all from the dead, really truly, from civil death, from capitalization, from amortization, securitization. And I know you think this is all is bad, and you think that this is horrible, and you're going to end up blaming our ancestors for their ignorance, and it's true. Yeah, we may be the children of fools, and I may be the capitalized king of capitalized, you know what, but also we're not supposed to say that word. It's improper dignity. It's not dignified to say fool. And I hope my Father forgives me. But these are important words of wisdom I give you. Very important words of wisdom I give you. Father has told us that anyone who walks in pledge shall suffer, but anyone who does not is safe. He does not ask for a pledge for this covenant. My covenant with our Father is without pledge. I have a true covenant with our Father that is without pledge. And it's that bridge of the covenant and all of the anointed authority that the king, the capitalized guy, has been screaming at you for 7 years, confirming the covenant, has been saying. So I love you, and this is a edification. True edification, voluntarily, because I want you to see, what she'll become. It is my intention here on this sabbatical and in this voluntary effort to follow the laws. And I wish to see. I'm going to see. I'm telling you all. I'm going to record it too. I'm going to show you what happens when you follow the law. Okay? I'm going to show you what happens. We're going to see what happens when you follow the law. Anyway, I love you all. Be, comma, good. Be. Look up the definition of that. So again, I ask you now, do you want to be capitalized? You want to walk and pledge? Huh? To supply for capital? To gain by turning something to advantage? Or are you ready to accept your entitlement that was given you by Yahushua lawfully in decree of emancipation, that you're free and that you're a partner and that you get a cut every single year? He doesn't want anything from you. He gives. He gives. He gives. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Anyway, I'll be leaving. I'm gonna take my leave, and next time you see me, I'll be studying abroad, and I'm going to give reports. I'm going to continue edification, and more importantly, I'm going to follow the law. And I love you all. I can only say that to the elect, which I've left a message before, and mixed reaction. Um, listen to reason. Listen to reason. Listen to reason to what I say. And then if you don't wish to listen to me, that's fine. Listen to our Father. Listen to Ezekiel. Listen to Job. Where's Job? Oh, Job. I can't. I'm sorry, Job. I can't. Here we go. Job, I can't. I have to speak on Job. Everybody knows the story of Job. Why was Job so much loved? Look, he hated it. He could not stand Pledge. Job, they drive away the ass of the fatherless. They take the widow's ox for it pledged. They pluck the fatherless from the breast and take the pledge of the poor. My goodness. Job, lay down now a pledge. Be thou surety for me with thyself. Who is he that striketh hands with me? See, he was not about that. For thou hast taken, Job, for thou hast taken a pledge of thy brother for naught, and stripped off the clothing of the naked. Okay. Our laws, our Father's law, it has been in existence for multiple cycles of resurrection and consummation. Again, I've explained this before. I've explained the physics of it. I've explained exactly how it happens. I've explained it very, very clearly. We come back, we forget. Okay? It doesn't mean that the law will not be the law. It's going to be the law. And we are suffering the maximum effect of it right now. And everything that Father said was going to happen. It's time for, exactly what happened. The pledge to be redeemed. Those who Yahushua delivered were delivered. Those who remain bond are bond. And those, it's foretold that Christ will have vengeance for his bondservants, and his bondservants, well, we know how they are. And those who sought to enslave mankind, who perpetrate these acts, these folks you see on TV, who I would save for last, I said I would save them for last. These are the ones who shall suffer in the maximum punishment, for they cannot pay their pledge. And those who led into bondage, have they gone into bondage? And shall Israel reign over them? You are my partners. I love you. I love you so much. I love you with all my heart. Do I love you? And I tell you, you must comprehend and then simply do the right thing and confess your sin. I need every single judge I can get. So I truly entreat my judges, my elect judges, to comprehend what I've said. In the meantime, Yahushua is not happy and has ordained a trial upon all of you, which he's postponed until he returns, allowing you to get a chance to acquaint yourself with the law and to think about what it is that you did. Okay? Truly. And that's what happened. That's what happened. He will, if he sees unrighteousness, if he sees violation of law, he will condemn. So think about what I've said. Study the laws, comprehend the exact terminology of the words, comprehend the unum sanctum trust, which is the eternal perpetual trust, and then go look down there to see who the beneficiary is. If you think Dad's a fool and he doesn't know to send Yahweh Shai as Christ, well, you are exactly, we are exactly what we are. Young people and young spirits and old people bodies, because we keep walking in pledge. Anyway, that's what happened. It is what it is. I'm on my path to righteousness, and I simply hope that you will follow in my path. There's so much here, so much wisdom here. Look at all this wisdom. You have to look. Why? Acts 17:31. Because he has fixed a day on which he intends to judge the world with justice by a man whom he has appointed, and of this he has given all men a pledge by raising this man from the dead. Finish this. Just, uncapitalized, Eddie King Scott IV. And this is my overtime voluntary edification as steward of the king. And I love you. Goodbye. That's all for today.